Gunshots are startling, especially if you know what they sound like.
Just days after police say a man was shot dead near Dawson Park, we're talking to a witness about what happened and church leaders nearby about how the gun violence in the Elliott neighborhood needs to be addressed at a higher level. It is 5 o'clock. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Elizabeth Din. Elise Haas has been shedding light on the years of gun violence near Dawson Park all week and now has more on what church leaders have to say about all this. Elise?
Liz, we found out that the members from the Vancouver Avenue First Baptist Church were in Dawson Park for an event on Tuesday when the shots rang out nearby in the middle of the day.
This was our first event, and during this event, this young man lost his life.
An associate minister of Vancouver Avenue First Baptist Church was in Dawson Park hosting a community event to feed those in need when he and his congregation heard gunshots. His first reaction was to run to the victim to help him.
He had passed away before I got there.
He and his senior pastor are moved to do something about this senseless gun violence.
It's our job as ministers, it's our job as people who love people and people of faith to do something about it.
There is too much easy access to guns in the first place.
6 years ago, Pastor Matt Hennessy started working with the Interfaith Peace Action Collaborative to address the violence between police and the community. But in the last 2 to 3 years, Hennessy says that violence has shifted to become violence among the community.
I text the mayor and I have said to City Council, how many people have to be shot? How many people have to die? How many shots have to be fired before there is something very, very important that's done to try to begin to put this in retreat?
In response, in April of last year, Hennessy applauds the City Council's work, investing in neighborhood parks, park rangers, nonprofits helping at-risk youth, and the Bureau's new focused intervention team and its community oversight committee.
The city is lacking to some degree because they need to, in my opinion, have this still a high agenda item for them.
But he says people in the Elliott neighborhood have a role to play too.
People see stuff, but they don't say stuff. And we often want to criticize the investigators because, quote, they're not closing cases. Well, they can't conclude that if you're not willing to talk.
And the church is working with the Oregon Community Foundation to address gun violence in the neighborhood. So if you want to get involved and you're in the Elliott neighborhood, then you can call the Vancouver Avenue First Baptist Church to volunteer with them in their outreach programs. Or if you have the means, then donate to the Oregon Community Foundation. I've included information for you and a link at KOIN.com. They are preparing to work for the next decade to help reduce gun violence on our streets. Live in Portland, Elise Haas, KOIN 6 News.